Hello all Inderes TV viewers. Today I'm here with Analyst Antti Siltanen to talk about Biohit. We have initiated coverage of the company and will publish an extensive report at inderes.se. Today we'll discuss some of the main points with Antti, but please read the extensive report if you are interested in the company. Hello Antti and welcome.
Hi.
So, Biohit, established in 1988, is a globally operating Finnish diagnostics company that develops innovative diagnostic and other health products. But could you explain to us in layman's terms what the company does?
Yeah, Biohit basically focuses on two areas. Their main product is called GastroPanel. So GastroPanel is basically a collection of 4 individual diagnostic tests. And by looking at those 4 tests together, you can make predictions on the health of the stomach. So that's the main product. The other product area is called acetyl products. So there are 2 acetyl products, and those products basically bind a molecule called acetaldehyde. And acetaldehyde is a molecule that predisposes us to cancer. For example, gastric cancer, or for smokers, it causes cancer in the mouth. So there are 2 products called acetyl capsule that binds acetaldehyde in the stomach, protecting the stomach, and then the other is for smokers called acetyl lozenge. So that binds acetaldehyde in the mouth during smoking, and it also reduces the pleasure associated with smoking. So over time it helps to quit smoking and reduce smoking.
Okay, sounds interesting. So the company's geographical focus is on Europe and Asia. What kind of position does the company have on the international markets?
Well, the most important market clearly is China. So the background here is that Biohit started a joint company about 10 years ago in China, and there were some corporate arrangements after that. So now the situation is that the former joint company now is a major shareholder of Biohit, and the Chinese company is the sole distributor of Biohit's products in China. And China is the major market, so in both positive and negative, there's really great opportunities for Biohit in China, but there's also a risk concentration because of this kind of big share of revenues from there. In Europe, Biohit has subsidiaries in the UK and Italy, so those are important markets. But overall, Biohit has distribution in approximately 100 countries, so they're really global company. Something like 79% of the revenues come out of Finland. So, but those are kind of the key really decisive markets for Biohit.
Okay, but the company has relatively small resources compared to its competitors. So what are the competitive advantages that then separates it from its competitors?
Well, I think it really comes down to the GastroPanel. I already mentioned that it's kind of a unique set of 4 different tests, and then the interpretation of those tests. So that kind of separates Biohit from and GastroPanel as a product from the competitors. GastroPanel has been on the market for some 20 years, so we believe that there's a kind of a brand advantage, and it's well known in the community. Also, kind of the Biohit's overall focus on the gastrointestinal tract is something that separates it from many competitors. Many of the bigger competitors are then focused on different areas.
But the overall product portfolio is quite aged. I mean, it's not, as you said, like GastroPanel has been around for 20 years or so. So how important is it for the company to develop new innovative products and be successful in that now?
Yeah, we believe in the short term the current portfolio is kind of sufficient to carry Biohit forward. There has been some new versions of GastroPanel very recently. So there's one that allows the test to be made from the point of the finger tip blood, which allows it to be used in kind of distributed small health centers instead of larger service laboratories. So we believe that these products and these new versions will carry Biohit fine during the next couple of years. But then in the longer perspective, Biohit is a small company and the set of products is quite small. So they really need to renew the portfolio, get good high selling products to really then carry out the growth over the long term. And as any product, these diagnostic products, they have a finite lifespan, maybe longer than many tech products, but nevertheless they need to be able to succeed in product development and sales of those.
Yeah. Now the company has announced that it's planning to launch a new strategy later this fall. But can you summarize the current strategy for us?
Yeah, I think overall, kind of looking at the actual strategy, the current 2023 strategy, and then different kind of sources of information on how the management has communicated their strategy and operations, it seems that Biohit is really currently focusing on the very core business and making that better. So focusing on improving sales, focusing on R&D, focusing on internal processes. They seem to be very careful with expenses, controlling expenses. So it seems that they're kind of building the foundation now. And as you mentioned, they will be updating their strategy this autumn. The current strategy is kind of lacking some, we could say that it's lacking ambition and kind of long-term outlook. And we're kind of waiting that in the autumn update we will see kind of more longer-term perspective and also maybe some more ambitious outlook for longer-term growth.
Okay, so that's something to look forward to, hopefully. Yeah. So after a long loss-making period, the company managed to turn its earnings around last year. And looking at that, then what are the preconditions for the company to grow profitably going forward, and what are the financial targets at the moment?
Well, first, if we think about the losses or operating losses of the past couple of years, it's good to notice that the company has had some very high-level depreciations. They are related to these cooperations in China, which I earlier mentioned. So actually, the operating cash flows are much better than what the operating profit appears. So, but the company made a turnaround last year. So they made 1.1 million operating profit. They are looking to improve on that. So that's their guidance to improve operating profit from that 1.1 million. A large part of that improvement was due to renewal of the distribution contract in China. We believe that will continue those revenues, which are very very highly profitable. So we are quite confident in Biohit's ability to keep that track and keep that profitable growth track that they have now kind of initiated.
Okay, sounds good. And what is the outlook for the rest of 2023 and then going forward, some years forward?
Well, this year we are kind of in line with Biohit's guidance. So we are expecting a small revenue growth this year and also small growth in operating profit. And then going forward, we are expecting approximately 10% annual growth for the next couple of years. Biohit's business is quite defensive. So when the users are accustomed to use certain diagnostics tests, they are kind of prone to keep using them. So in the short term, we are relatively confident that Biohit will keep on track. But then when we go at in mid-term and longer term, then it's a question of how the Chinese big business will develop. That's a big question, and also then how that R&D pipeline is developing. The visibility to the R&D pipeline is not great at the moment, but if Biohit is kind of successful in rolling out new products and selling those successfully, then I think the basis is good.
Yeah. Okay. So I assume like with the R&D pipeline, it's a question of not being able to report what's going on because of competition and having to protect your own research.
Yeah. So now we really don't know what is coming out and when, but that's kind of understandable that they would like to keep those things secret for now.
Yeah, of course. And one final question. What is the share valuation like at the moment and what does it look like?
The balance sheet of Biohit is very strong, so we like to look at EV-based multiples. So EV/EBIT multiple for this year is 17. It's not super low, but looking at our growth and profit projections, it goes down quite quickly. So the earnings-based valuation looks mildly attractive at this point. So then we look at the kind of revenue-based valuation. So the EVS multiple for this year is, I think, 1.9, going down as the revenues grow. It's clearly lower than Biohit's own history, which is about 3. And also, if we look at the peers or competitors, their median EV sales multiple is about 3 as well. So Biohit is trading at a discount compared to their own history and peers. There is Biohit is a small company, so it's justified that there is a certain discount with the peers, but we still believe that it's an attractive valuation from the revenue point of view. Then we look at the DCF valuation and future cash flows. Our cash flow model gives a value of 2.2 euros, which is quite clearly above today's share value. So also the cash flow model suggests that there's some improvement or room for appreciation of the stock price. So we have a positive outlook on the stock.
Yeah, so somewhat attractive at least. Thank you very much. An interesting company, and please go read the report.